The Alton Towers resort has recently closed their infamous inverted roller coaster, Nemesis, located in a huge pit in the ground. But the big question on everyone's mind, of course, is why didn't they get rid of Rita instead? No, the real question is what will Nemesis be like when it reopens in 2024? Of course, unbeknownst to the majority of the public, Nemesis will reopen in a year and a half after it has received extensive retracking, similar to what was done with the Hulk roller coaster, the Incredible Hulk, the one that goes basically where the track that is there now will be taken out and then replaced by a brand new manufactured track which is a lot smoother and a lot more durable to see it through for the next 30 years. I mean, give it 30 years again and it will close to become Nemesis 3. So of course we know the track will look newer because it's being retracked, funnily enough. But in multiple news articles, John Wardley, the designer of the original Nemesis, has revealed that there will be added special effects, theming, and surprises along the way. So what are these added theming pieces and what are these special effects, and especially what are the surprises that we're going to see? In this video I'm going to give my opinion on what we could see Nemesis looking like, and then I'm going to open the floor to you guys, or I might just open the floor beneath my feet. And if you do want to stay up to date with the latest Alton Towers news, then feel free to subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Alton Towers has been closed for almost a month now, and since closing, they've been hard at work, not just on the park, but on Nemesis too. At the time of filming this, the last section of the ride, so that's the final inversion and the little turn before the brake run, has all been taken out completely. Imagine riding that now. You just go through that lovely overbank quite slowly, send it through the tunnel. So no extensive work has begun elsewhere just yet, and it probably won't till about the middle of 2023 once half the track's gone in. Can't wait. So moving on, the first thing I think will change on Nemesis is a complete redo of the colour scheme. I feel like if they reopen Nemesis with the exact same colour scheme, so trains and track both white, as much as it's iconic, I feel it's a missed opportunity to not change it up quite a bit. You also have the chance to annoy a lot of enthusiasts, so that's a dub. Now, there was really far-fetched speculation about the colour scheme, and it was to do with the wristbands that were given out on the closing day. The numbers that were on them corresponded to grey and red colours, and it was like... And that was thought to potentially be the new colour scheme for the ride. And if it were grey and red, it would take a lot of getting used to, but it would look very cool. Here's a Photoshop version, as you can see. It's like a character selection page. Do you want grey and red Nemesis, or do you want white and grey Nemesis? You know what, I'm going for blue. But if that were the case, I reckon the station would also get completely repainted as well. And that's if they kept the station the same, which we'll get onto that later. And I feel like I have to put this in here on behalf of myself and a lot of other people. Not really to do with the site of Nemesis, but I really hope the old track that is going from the sides of Nemesis gets moved, and some of it actually gets placed like the corkscrew did, like as a masterpiece, artifact, statue. That's the word. So you could put it near the entrance of Nemesis or somewhere in that area, or even at the entrance wrapped around the corkscrew. How beautiful. Besides that point, what could the special effects that John Wardley talked about be? Could we see some smoke in the tunnels or in the pits of the ravines? That would be really cool. I can genuinely imagine coming down from that vertical loop, swooping down through the what the fuck? I would love to see some fog in those tunnels, along with some new lighting as well. You know, have a Wicker Man lighting package. Not just red and more red. The other thing that was talked about was some surprises along the way. What could those surprises be? I'm not too sure personally. I've actually been told insider information on what the surprise is, and I cannot wait to tell you guys. Basically, it's never going to return. That's the surprise. But because I was unsure, I took to Instagram to see what you guys think will be added to Nemesis when it reopens. I think we could see a whole new theme tune, as the Roar won't be there anymore. Yeah, the Roar will be departing from Alton Towers, potentially. Basically, there's a new way that B&M somehow manufacture track, and it's got sand to stop the sound, and obviously the Alton residents wouldn't like the sound, so they've done it so there's no sound. Sound. But a new soundtrack would be very cool, especially if it were IMA-score, because they've worked with Towers in the past and they've done some amazing soundtracks such as The Smiler, Wicker Man. What are the other ones? Spinball Wizard and Galactica. So yeah, to see them do something for Nemesis 2 would be very cool. LED screens to give it a pulsating, organic, alive vibe. Honestly, that is a very cool idea. If you've seen the Wicker Man, inside the structure it has these screens that act like fires rising out of it and stuff. I'm sure they could do that with the station, just make it look like it's breathing. New audio system, lots of bass. You know, we talked about noise complaints, and then we also talked about a new soundtrack. Just the incorporation of Subterra in some way. Now, granted, Subterra does open next year, which again, I'm going to preface this, if it doesn't, That would be quite funny. But if it does, I can definitely see them opening Subterra for that year, and then that leads up to the Nemesis storyline of them releasing Nemesis again. That is a storyline. I should be a novel writer. A single rider line. Actually, that is a good point too. It used to have a single rider line until they got rid of it. I feel like it might slow down operations depending on where the single rider line actually enters the building. That would be useful for a lot of people, and it'd be very overpowered. A pre-show like Wickerman's, but obviously themed to Nemesis. You know what? Maybe we're just going to see Bjorn and turn up at Nemesis. No, a pre-show would be very cool. I'm not too sure where they'd put it. They'd have to like extend the station out, which then would probably hinder the track, but I don't know how buildings work. Probably a big DigitalDan logo which you will pass through after exiting the loop. I would rather die. Maybe new trains, as they have the newer versions of the invert trains. That's a very good point as well. I mean, with the new track, I can imagine we will get new trains, and as much as most new B&Ms are getting vest restraints, I highly doubt it will have them, because Monster at Groneland, one of the newest B&M inverts, doesn't have them either. Red Waterfalls. If they don't, I'll shred my Merlin pass and feed it to Nick Varney. I completely forgot about the Red Waterfalls, although as much as it's environmentally damaging, which isn't good, if they found a way to do it where it doesn't do that, that would be amazing to see. It turns into a World of David Walliams expansion. You know what? Knowing Alton Towers, I wouldn't be surprised. However, there is a huge new indoor roller coaster opening right next to David Walliams World. And soon, December 10th, you guys can have a go at building in that building yourself. Stay tuned.